how do we learn a language without changing our presence? Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of Beleo TV. I hope you are great. I'm amazing today, not only because I'm recording this video for you, it's because you're watching me right now. Ladies, gentlemen, kids, adults, grown-ass men, ladies, everybody. I'm super happy because I'm recording this video after a year that I didn't make episodes in English, and I'm a little nervous, but I hope you like it. I hope you subscribe, please. We're close to the 600 subscribers, close to the 1,000 subscribers, and I would like to have that goal really soon. Subscribe. I hope you like it, and welcome to this new episode. I hope you love it. The real challenge is not learning a language. It's not losing yourself. Why you speak how you speak? It's a question that have been going through my head this couple of weeks. But in reality, no one knows for certain what the world's first language was. Humans began speaking around 300,000 years ago, while writing was only existed about 5,000 years ago, leaving no records of the earliest spoken languages. The oldest written languages we know are Sumerian, Ancient Egyptian, and Akkadian. But these were not the first languages, but were the only one first being recorded. Over thousands of years, human populations migrated to different parts of the world, become separated, causing their ways of speaking to gradually changes. New words were created, pronunciations evolved, some words disappeared, and others were borrowed from neighboring cultures. For example, in English, coffee came from the word café. In Italy, kindergarten came from the German Kindergarten. Kinder meaning children and garden. Or, for example, in Venezuelan Spanish, macundales are a group of objects that you use for work. In English is mac and dales, or bistec, that in English is beef steak, eventually leading to the development of entirely new languages. This is why thousands of languages exist today and why people in different countries speak differently. Even countries that share the same language, such as English or Spanish, have distinct accents, vocabulary, and expressions shaped by their history, culture, geography, and interaction with new communities. Many mother languages are also belong to larger language families, such as the Indo-European family, which includes English, Spanish, French, Italian, and many others, showing that they share a distant common ancestry. Although some linguists believe that all languages may have originated from a single ancestral language, but there is not enough evidence to prove this, making the true origin of the first human language one of the greatest mysteries in human history. Another example can be in Venezuela, we say "¿Qué más, chamo?" But in Colombia, they say "¿Qué hubo, parce?" In Florida, we can say "What's up, guys?" But in Cali, they can say, "What's up, y'all?" In England, somebody can say, "What's up, mate?" Or in Portuguese, somebody can say, "Isso, mano." Different ways to say it, different languages, with totally different pronunciations, but the same idea, to greeting somebody. This is a great exercise where, as an individual, no matter if you're Venezuelan, if you're from US, you're from Brazil, United Kingdom, Egypt, Japan, wherever you are, you can learn different languages, because in that way you're expanding your knowledge and desire of know about more people, life, and cultures. Of course, making different type of conversations with different people that you never imagined to do it. For example, in Venezuela, even though the bad situation that is happening right there, back in like 80, 90 years ago, it came a huge migration from Spain, France, Portugal, Colombia, Arabic countries that they needed to adapt to Venezuelan culture. But they didn't just adapt, they adapt their cultures into the Venezuelan culture, demonstrate that you can combine and create something new and unique, creating the idiosyncratic of each country. Maybe we are better human beings and we are more culturalized, and that's something nice. For example, I came here almost 8 years ago, getting new opportunities, and I came only with 15 years old. I'm a baby. I'm still a baby, guys, of course. And I came, of course, with all the situation that have been happening. Like I said, in a couple of videos, you can see it right here. Something that is really nice, since I was little, my parents always put me in English classes, and I learned a lot how to speak English. So when I came here, it wasn't a problem to understand the language, and it was easy to adapt to this new culture that it came to me. And knowing that and learning more every day, now that's part of my culture as well. So I like I always say, I'm half Venezuelan, half from here, because I feel half and half, because I have both of the countries in my blood, because I have been developing my entire career as a human being, as a grown-ass man, right here in the US, in this beautiful country. But that's something I want to speak in another video, another theme. But things that, of course, I learned how to speak English really young, and that I met different cultures, even start using different type of words. I understand how to pronounce different words, knowing that there are people that has a different pronunciation in different states, but also has different ways to say things in different states or in different countries, of course, like I said before. For example, a person from Canada don't gonna say the same way as we say here, how's everything, in a polite way. In the same way, a person from England, they're gonna say the same way. But that's something that you, even when you start talking with different people from different cultures, even inside of this country that is huge, you find differences in how people react and how people speak, depending on where they came from. And that's really nice, because you understand different cultures, and at the same time you learn how to deal with different people, and at the same time you grow as a person, because you can develop yourself in a different language. And this is like the really middle connection between other cultures. I am now, for example, learning how to speak Portuguese, because I got a lot of friends that are from Brazil, and I studied with a lot of people from Brazil. And I never, you never imagine, when you are 10 years old, that you're gonna speak with somebody that is from Brazil, that you're not gonna speak with somebody that is from Switzerland, from Canada, from France, from Italy. And well, in Venezuela it's different, because of course there is a mix of culture. And when you come here, or for example in Florida, there is a mix of culture. The same thing that people that live in New York is different than the people that live in Arkansas, or if people that lives in a countryside in Venezuela. They're gonna have that mix with Europeans or different other cultures. But in places like this, it's a metropolitan, we can say, but it's not that. Orlando is still like a little town, like a small town, mixed with different cultures. And these 8 years I learned from different cultures, but also I learned how to speak with Portuguese based on the English, because I got a lot of friends speaking English, people that are from Brazil, and now I got that desire that I wanted to speak a third language. After I know only two, I want now to speak a third one. And now, after a couple weeks, couple months practicing, ask them, how can I improve? Let them know that please speak to me in Portuguese, because I need to understand the words. I think I'm 75% fluently speaking in Portuguese, and that's something I'm really proud, because everything starts with speaking one language, in this case English, but at the same time it gives me connections to understand and learn from other people and other cultures. And now I know how to approach somebody. I know how to say hi to somebody, how to keep a conversation with another person in fully Portuguese, where I can also understand, and at the same time I can develop. But also, if I know person from Brasilia, from Sao Paulo, from Rio, a person from Portugal that is not even Brazil, now I know how to learn a little more about their culture. And that's something special and something powerful, that is something that I can recommend to everybody, because you can be yourself but talking with different people, and understand how the cultures and how the way that we understand the life from different perspectives, you can see it in different ways of how the people live in their own countries. That makes sense? For example, right now, I really want to speak French, because there are a lot of people from from France and from Canada that speak French, and I really want to speak that language because not only is the language of love, but it's really nice. I work with a lot of people from Iran, and the Parsi is a beautiful language. You have the opportunity to hear. It's beautiful how they pronounce the words. Italian is similar to Spanish, so that's, I think, something that will be really easy, but it's something I really want to start trying. And why I decide to make all of this? Why the desire to learn and speak different languages? Not only that give me more knowledge, not only I can communicate with more people, but doing all of this appears the main challenge that is the most important from all of this, and it's how do we learn a language without changing our presence? And that's something strong and power that we need to achieve when we're learning something different. I know that I think that's really important because the main thing when you're trying to speak with somebody in different language, let's say your main language is English or your main language is Spanish, and you're trying to speak in vice versa in English. If you speak Spanish in English and Spanish, the challenge is not only speak the language, because you can learn some words and you can try to speak with somebody. The goal, I think, it's trying to be yourself in different ways. For example, I know friends, really good friends, that when they change the way how they speak from Spanish to English are the same people. And it's incredible because it's like you're speaking with the same person in Spanish and English. But of course, we're speaking Spanish because we have been growing together like since we were 3 years old. So, well, we're speaking Spanish, but he has a perfect English. He speak in Spanish as he speak in English and made the same jokes. And that's something nice because he don't change his sense. For example, there's a lot of people that I know that when they speak English, because it's not their first language, they are a little more shy. In Spanish are the most funniest people in the world. They are the most interesting people. They know a lot of things. They know a lot of jokes. They know a lot about life. But when you speak with them in English, it's like you turn off a switch that they just limit themselves to speak something that you want to hear. And sometimes it's nice that you can only communicate, and that's nice, but you're limited, or you're putting limitations in your head in how you can improve yourself, how you can learn. And if you got a mistake with some words, somebody can correct you, but I think the best way to correct that errors is speaking the language without judging yourself, or without waiting that somebody is gonna be judging you. I think that's the main thing why the people change the way how they speak. I know people that speak in Spanish that speak perfectly Portuguese, but they speak English and terrible. I know people that are really good friends that they're from here, from US, and they love to speak Spanish. And sometimes when they are with me and they tell me, oh, let me practice Spanish because I want to improve in my Spanish, and they try to speak and they trying to be nice, but then when they speak with somebody else, they just got a little shy. That's something I really want to have this message at the end of the episode, because there is something that's the main challenge when you're doing this. Is like Leandro, the person that is talking right now, is the same person that you've seen in the old videos speaking in Spanish. I'm doing the same thing. I'm not changing nothing. Even if I'm trying to be more polite, but that's different because, of course, I need to follow the rules, guys. I don't want to be banned in English. In Spanish, I don't care, but in English, I need to be a little more polite. I'm the same guy. You know, I'm trying to speak like, and if I start speaking in Portuguese, will be the same shit. Like, I'm gonna change the way how I speak and how I am. You cannot change your sense. If you're gonna learn, if you're gonna speak with somebody and you feel that you're gonna make a mistake, make the mistake. If you think that somebody's gonna judge you, somebody gonna talk about you, somebody gonna talk shit about you because you're learning on just speaking another language and you're not doing it right, you need to let them know to shut the fuck up. You need to shut that voices in your head, because you don't supposed to care what the other people think about what you're doing. You're doing something special, something unique. Imagine when you're traveling around South America, when you're traveling to Europe, to some countries in Africa that speak Spanish, or you're traveling to Portugal, Brazil, if you're traveling to some Cape Verde, in Africa, and you want to speak Portuguese, you're not gonna do it because you're afraid of how people gonna react based on how you speak, and trying to speak another languages and at the same time you can understand somebody else. That's ridiculous if you stop doing the things that you need to do based that you're learning something new and you can improve and help somebody else. Because, for example, my job, there is one person that he's from Brazil. He starts speaking Spanish and he motivates me to start speaking Portuguese more, and he told me, you got potential to speak more Portuguese. Speak to me in Portuguese, I speak to you in Spanish, and we correct each other, and that's something that is nice. He motivated me, and now I motivate somebody else, because some other friends, colleagues from work, they motivate to speak another language, and some of them, they are from Brazil, they're speaking Spanish, and now there are other ones that are speaking Spanish, that are speaking Portuguese. So there are people that are from the US that are now, they want to speak both, and that's the most beautiful thing that you can do. At the beginning, everybody gonna see you like you are crazy. They're gonna say, oh, look at you, you're not doing nothing, look at that, what a fucking retard that he's talking in Portuguese. What do you think you are, brother? And after you develop yourself and you understand that you don't need to care about what the other people thinks, you made it, and then nobody can stop you because you already learn something different. And while they were doing that judgment to you, you were improving, and now you're better to yourself. First of all, that's the most important thing, but then you're better for other people. You can communicate, help another person based on what you have in your head. Let's say you have a purpose. Now that purpose, you can spread that purpose and help somebody else, not only in your own language, in your native language. You can spread that words and learn somebody around the world because you decide to change your language. Stop being afraid by the judgments of the people. Work every day to grow, and you're gonna be the reference of a lot of people.